As a fish keeper, I always struggled with keeping my aquariums clean. That is, until I found a handful of nifty tricks that I was able to do to keep my aquariums clean. So in this video, I'm going to share with you all of my tricks, starting with feeding your fish properly. One of the biggest mistakes that fish keepers can make is by adding too much food to the aquarium that the fish won't eat, and this will make your aquarium water cloudy and can also lead to algae buildup, and it can also clog your filter. I know that they sell specific food that says it won't cloud your water, but you still need to make sure that you add the right quantity of food to your aquarium so that your fish are able to completely eat them, so that you don't have too many leftovers in your aquarium, because that will just lead to extra problems. Leading us into our second tip, that is making sure that you have the right filtration for your aquarium. This is a 90-gallon aquarium behind me, and for it I have a filter that is rated to clean a 90-gallon aquarium. Depending on the amount of fish that you have in your aquarium, they will require a larger filter. There are some ways to go around this by including an extra filter or two in your aquarium, so it kind of evens out the water flow. But if you want a crystal clear aquarium, you really need to make sure that your filter is strong enough and able to keep up with the waste in your aquarium. You can also add extra filter medium that will help purify the water, but collecting all the debris is just one part of filtration. There's still the biological filtration, which makes your aquarium safer and removes the ammonia and other harmful bad things for your fish in your aquarium. It's very crucial that you have that. And speaking of filters, let's get started with our unboxing. This isn't only a tip video, we also have an unboxing. I just think it's more efficient to do all of them in one video. This company Higer reached out to me and they wanted to send me some filters to review, so they will be in a future video, but I just want to share with you what they look like. These are your traditional sponge filters. They have a little extra material in there for your biological filtration, those little bio ball areas. And this is gonna be great. I don't know if I'm gonna put it in this aquarium. I might put it in some of my like 10 gallons or something, but these are some of my favorite filtration. Sponge filters are always solid. In this aquarium, however, I do have a canister filter, which is sucking water out into a little canister. It filters it and then sends it back into the aquarium. I have a video on filters and I'll link that somewhere. My next tip is to have bottom feeders. If you watched any of my other videos, you will know that I absolutely love bottom feeders, so this is a little biased, but what bottom feeders are is they're a group of fish or snails or shrimp that help clean up after your main fish. In this aquarium, I have a lot of top dwelling and mid dwelling fish, and while their poop sinks down to the bottom and any waste, any excess food sinks down, instead of having it just sink into the substrate and disappear forever, the bottom feeders actually help sift around and collect that food and possibly eat it, which is great, and it helps do a lot of the work for you in your aquarium, and they also look pretty sick. Here's a short list of the things that I have in this aquarium that help keep it clean. I have nearite snails, I have mystery snails, I have plecos, I have cory catfish, I have a Garo rufo, which is like that skin eating fish. It's pretty cool. I also have Malaysian trumpet snails, and these are snails that bury into the ground, into the substrate, and they stir it around and they help lift any of the bottom waste up, and that makes it really easy for me to siphon it out, and that's just a great way to keep your aquariums clean. Oh, we have one more thing in the box, and this leads me on to my next point. You need to do water changes. I know this isn't really good. I know it's not fun sucking on the tube to get water flowing. I know it's not fun carrying buckets of water into the aquarium, but it is something that needs to be done, especially if you're just starting a brand new aquarium. It is crucial to the development of the bacteria and the fish in your aquarium when you do a water change. Basically, most of you probably know what a water change is, but you might not want to have to do it that often. What you'll be doing is taking about 25% of the water volume in your aquarium, depending on the size. You're gonna be sucking it all out, emptying that, and then replacing it with fresh water, and that helps level out any of the chemicals or bacteria in the aquarium, and that just levels out the water quality. It is really, I mean, it's kind of annoying sometimes, but you know, it is helpful, especially when you are starting a new aquarium. Once you have a larger aquarium like this and you have it cycle for over a year, over 2 years, maybe even 3 years like me, you really don't need to do it as often, just because you have so much bacteria and the fish and everything have just been in a groove for that long that you really don't need to replace that much water, but it is something that I occasionally do. And there are tools like this. I will have a link down below for this, but this is like a little handle, and it comes with these little clear tubes, and it basically goes to the bottom of the aquarium, and I'm able to pump out all the dirt, and then I can just flush it down the toilet, and then I don't need to worry about it ever again. And I will probably have a video on this as well. And here's a pro tip before we move on to the next major tip. After you do your water change and you have water spilled all over, it's great to get a rag with some vinegar-based cleaner, and you're able to scrub down the side of your aquarium, get rid of any water stains, and that just makes it a lot easier and a lot better to take photos or just look at your aquarium. I don't think I did that before this video. Sorry. There's like water stains and stuff. I'm sorry. It is something I do after I do water changes just because it makes the aquarium look cleaner. Now the last tip, and probably the most important, and this is gonna kind of suck to hear, but it is going to take time. Patience is the final tip. You really need to wait. I know when you first get your aquarium and you add water and the substrate gets stirred around and you want it to clear up and you want to have a crystal clear aquarium, but the truth is it's not going to be like that. When you start a new aquarium, you're going to have a thin slime mold on the top of the aquarium. You're going to get things growing on pieces of wood. You might have some algae or some other things stuck on the side of your aquarium, and this is to be expected. That doesn't mean you're a bad fish keeper or that something you did is wrong. That's just what happens when you have an aquarium. It just takes time and your fish and your snails and your shrimp to adapt to the aquarium so that they're able to be one cohesive unit. I know that sucks to hear, but if you do want to speed up the process, like I said, water changes are probably the best way to go if your water is super cloudy with substrate. With algae, I really recommend a good bottom feeder group. And if your water is just overall always some sort of weird haze and it doesn't look very clear, that would be a replacement of your filter or your filter pads. You are supposed to replace those, guys. Come on. I don't replace mine. I just wash them out. That's what I do with my filter pads. I mean, they're kind of expensive when you have to buy them like every month. But those are my suggestions for you. And if you do like these tutorial videos and beginner fish videos, check out when I made an aquarium stand that was literally under $10. It's right here. It was super simple. If you have a large aquarium, it's the best way to go instead of having to buy a super expensive aquarium stand because those can cost a lot of money at the pet store. Don't worry, I'm looking out for you. I got your back. Challenge the wild in the house. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy, fam. Peace. Wap.